Right, so good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in this fantastic world of ours. Welcome back to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. It's Friday. Friday means it's the easy talk. We'll have a panel of guests. We've had some slight problems with a certain connection with a guest. I can see he's in the green room, but I'm not going to introduce him until we've gone through the quick intros. There are a couple of familiar faces. Top right, Raj, aka North Bank Ninja. How are you going, Raj?
Hello, everyone. Yeah, really good, Alex. Really good. Happy to spend my Friday night chatting about Arsenal, always.
I'm sorry, man.
Hey, we're doing well these days. It's so much more enjoyable.
At least we have little heartbreaks. No more suffering. Little heartbreaks.
No more suffering. And that's the voice of Larry. Larry's it's becoming a regular fixture on Cannon for TV, man. Larry, brother, how are you? You're good? Okay.
I'm good. Right. Yeah. So I'm ready. We're ready to talk about our club.
You ready?
Our darling club. Yeah. Yes.
All right, so there's the intros. Go on, Larry, sorry.
No matter how it is Arsenal is our blood. So, and my house is red.
Oh my goodness! Well, I can bet that I'm outside the Emirates.
Yeah, I can see that. Don't worry, I've made some orders. When they come, you see me with so much Arsenal flag, Arsenal logo, and you know.
Nice one. So, like I said in the intro, we're going to be reviewing some of the news that I spoke about in the morning segment, and then we'll get into the real hot topics right here on Cannon for TV. Yes, welcome back to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans, literally all over the world. And it's the easy talk when I have a panel of guests. I say that, but Monday we had a panel of guests. It's like much of the same because I had like Raj and I had is it deja vu? It's deja vu, isn't it? God,
we're at different places. We're at different places in the screen. Yeah, right? Larry was in the top, so at least that's different.
Yeah. Don't get confused, people. It's Friday. It's not Monday. Anyway, so my opening gambit as usual. Make sure you subscribe to Cannon for TV on all platforms. Hit the bell notification button so you can receive all the latest news, and you can be part of the greater community right here on this channel, Cannon for TV. Right, so just wanted to review just a bits and pieces of news that I spoke about this morning. One of which was you guys might recognize this person, Laurent Koscielny. Yes, our ex-captain left the club in controversial circumstances. Laurent Koscielny finally apologized to Arsenal fans for Bordeaux shirt revelation stunt that caused a bit of a stir after club legends Ian Wright and Nigel Winterburn slammed the defenders' disrespectful attitude. Laurent Koscielny had finally apologized to Arsenal fans for his controversial shirt swap video to announce his move to Bordeaux last year. God, time has flown. The centre-back was seen taking off an Arsenal shirt to reveal the colours of the French club after securing a £4.6 million switch. But the club captain, Koscielny, had agitated for a move away and refused to take part in the pre-season session in the United States. I mean, guys, can you remember that situation there, Raj? Remember?
Yeah, to be honest, I thought the reaction to the shirt situation was a massive overreaction, to be honest. I was so surprised at the way people were treating it as some massive disrespect. It's not like he burnt the shirt or anything. It's not like he stamped on it. All he did was effectively symbolize, I'm leaving one club and I'm joining another. It really wasn't that big a deal. I'm not the biggest Koscielny fanboy generally. However, I thought that was a massive overreaction.
Wow. Larry, do you remember when he left?
Yeah. You see, what I see about that is the way North Bank is seeing it as a simple perception. How about the complicated side? What about the motive behind it? We knew what was ongoing before he behaved like that, before he did what he did. We knew there was a serious problem with him and the club. The best way to do is to symbolize his departure like that. There are many reasons to that. That with many perceptions from every angle. So for me, what he did was insulting to Arsenal, a club that makes you who you are. It will pick you from Lorient and make you a star, you know. And this is a club he spent 9 years. He's supposed to be going to be a legend. I didn't like the way he departed. I love him so much, but the way he departed, and you know the situation at hand, I can't interpret his behavior the way you see it. Not bank. I'm sorry, I disagree with you on that.
Yeah, we can disagree. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, look, I think if there was elements of truth around the fact that he refused to play at the training camp, for example, I disagree with that. I think that's you can't do that. There's a club that's paying your wage. You owe that to the club. You need to stay professional. I think there's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes that maybe we don't know. And so maybe it wasn't that black and white. But if that was the truth of the case, then that's wrong on his part. If I'm specifically referring to the shirt situation, again, I thought that was just perhaps because of the training camp incident. People took an even worse view at the shirts, the shirt and what that symbolized. But that I personally just did not think that warranted such a mass reaction. But he was, at the end of the day, he was a really good servant to the club, and for a long period of time, he was probably our best centre back.
Exactly. Exactly. The way it departed is what I don't like. You understand? You see, if assuming we are in a very happy mood or in a celebration mood, and he did that, one would say, okay, he's trying to show his transition from Arsenal to Bordeaux. But you know the situation on ground, you know the problem we are facing, and he did that. So he doesn't have good motive. Let us not tell ourselves lies.
Yeah. Okay, and the other bit of news I wanted to I spoke about earlier this morning in the morning segment was in regards to our talisman. And Aubameyang actually says that he, the tipping point for him, which made him actually decide to stay at Arsenal, was Mikel Arteta. And he said in Sky Sports, the two things that persuaded me to stay. He said the first thing was Mikel Arteta, because since he came in, he brought a lot of positivity and new philosophy for us. I think it was important because it matched my game, and I feel that I can improve with him. And I think it was the key factor as well, the love that I received from the fans and the whole club. And I've got to say, I held up my hands and I said, well, for me, I didn't give Arteta a lot of credit. I thought, when you look at the video, he does say that his father was like a defining factor as well in him signing for the club. I think he captained his country and his club level as well. So I didn't give enough credit to Mikel Arteta, but I stand corrected. He does say that Mikel Arteta was one of the major factors in him signing the extension of the 3-year deal there. I mean, what are you guys' thoughts about, again, Mikel Arteta and actually securing our talisman, Aubameyang, Raj?
It's interesting because I saw the little part of the interview, and Aubameyang mentions, right, that they were having a conversation, I think, on tactics, but before they got into it, Arteta in fact said, "Let's just talk about your future." And I thought that was interesting because I'm not sure if I was a player would I have received that, that well. At the same time, I did find it very interesting, Aubameyang's description of how he reacted. He sort of said, Arteta told me that I should, I could leave a legacy, and that really made my mind up for me. That was really interesting. I'm not really sure why that is what tipped the scale potentially. Do you know what I mean? I felt that was quite interesting. But at the same time, I think that Arteta's obviously someone who understands a football club. He's been at the club. He's been club captain. He was probably able to speak firsthand about what it feels like to be, loved by the club so much, to be club captain, to have that legacy to a certain degree. And I think being able to articulate that to Aubameyang in a time where there's probably a lot of voices and you're not really sure who to listen to. You're not really sure if everyone has your best interest at heart. I think there's something that would have been said that connected with him at the right moment that made him realize, do you know what, this is where I want to be. This is the right thing for me. Yeah. So it is nice and encouraging to see that Arteta can have that effect on players.
But Raj, did you have a doubt that Aubameyang wasn't going to sign the contract?
I had a doubt I think that he owed it to himself as a professional footballer, as a world-class player. I think he owed it to himself to assess his options at this point in his career. We weren't going anywhere fast towards the back end of the Emery kind of career, right? The Emery stint. I think he owed it to himself to take the time to think about it. And he did. And he took his time and he weighed up his options. And I think he behaved entirely appropriately, to his family, to the club. There was never a point in that time where his contract was, up in the air, where I didn't feel that he gave 100% for the club. But I always did acknowledge that there was a chance he could leave, and I thought he probably was looking to see what else would come in and how that made him feel. And in that way, I'm just so happy he's made this decision, because it feels like he's made it for the right reasons. He's thought about it. He obviously loves the club. He's obviously such an important part of the team. Everyone loves him. The players, the coaches, the manager, the fans. It's such an important signing for us, keeping him on. So I feel really great about it, and I had doubts, but it's great that he's decided to stay.
So Larry, Mikel Arteta was one of the major factors in Auba signing the contract. What are your thoughts, Larry?
Mikel Arteta was part of the decision why he decided to stay. Also, he has many reasons, like he stated. I agree totally with what Raj said. But on my own part, you see, by saying that his father was a captain, he has also sent a message that he loves as he's a captain. He needs to stay because he's a captain. You understand? Then the money factor. You see, 375K per week is not a small money. It's not a small money. Even if he goes to Real Madrid or go to Barcelona or go to Juventus, I don't think they can offer him more than that. But the fact is that it's good to be a big fish in a small ocean than to be a small fish in a large ocean. When I mean small ocean, like in comparison, like Arsenal with Real Madrid, we are not equal. Let us not, to say the truth and to be honest with ourselves, we are not the same. So now, and that also is already progressing. Is in line of progress. If he goes to any other club, he will go and start again. And who knows? He might not even find the favor from the manager, or the style of play might not even suit the way he plays. You understand? So it's like starting a new career, a new beginning. But Arsenal is already a king. The players love him. In fact, the fans really, really loves him. Because I knew how every fan was asking. Or if I told you, Alex, that my son was asking me every morning, as Aubameyang signed, my little boy, 9-year-old boy. You understand? For you to know how far. So I think he made the right decision. Arteta also played a key factor, because Arteta must have told him the process, the program they have, and that is what is still giving me faith that Arsenal will still sign somebody, either party or well, if not, I wouldn't have had any belief again, because we are running out of time.
Yeah, well, we've still got 11 days, 10 days to go.
Yeah, right. Let's call it 11.
10 and a half.
Give us more time.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me go into the live chat and see who we have here. Of course, we've got my wingman, Monty, who says, welcoming gooners from all over the world. Please leave a thumbs up, a like, and also subscribe if you are new here. And I've got Haji, who says, Arteta and Edu must strengthen our squad. They must sign Thomas Partey and Aouar. We'll get into that towards the end. Again, we're not going to run out like we did. I mean, the hour went so very quick on Monday. I'm thinking, where's the time gone? We didn't even get to talk about Alex, the new number 2 goalkeeper. I'm
Yeah,
not
Maybe
talking
we can
about him
squeeze him
tonight.
in today.
Naturally, that's
Alex, I'd researched the topic. I had loads to say.
I'm sorry, Raj, man.
Okay, man. It's fine.
Majid, good evening. One of our members says, hi, Alex, very late at night here, but the transfer window is... Don't let it keep you up. Go and get a good night's rest. Come on. Come on. Another member, Ahmed says, hey, Alex and Monty, how's it going? It's going very, very well. Thank you. I strongly believe we need both Partey and Aouar. Both bring very different but important roles and quality to our team. One energy and strengthens the other creativity. Before I go any further, I know I wanted to speak. Larry and myself were spoken about. The three of us spoke about Hosam Aouar. Why are people crying out for Hosam Aouar? I have not seen him play, Raj. I've not seen him play. Have you seen him play?
Yeah. A little bit. I'm not going to profess to be an expert, but I've seen a bit, and I think I can understand it just from a creativity standpoint, where we're effectively saying that Arsenal have lacked a bit of creativity since we've moved to this new system, and so there's been this feeling of who can inject that if we're playing this sort of a deeper midfield too, who can do it? Because Ceballos and Xhaka, the way that they are structured, the way their strengths are, they can't quite penetrate into the final third and have that creativity in that area. And I think seeing OR and the way that he played in the Champions League, against some very good sides, playing in a very deep position. So it's sort of, I think Arteta may have even seen it himself and said, I can envisage that. He played in a very deep position where he was able to retain the ball very well and progress into the final third, either through very, very sort of intricate keep ball play. And one of the things I think is very, very specific about OR is he does things at pace. He's very fast. He wants to move fast. He wants the play to go fast, whether it's running, whether it's dribbling, whether it's releasing. He wants the game to be played at a fast tempo, and he's very comfortable at doing that. And I think Arteta, seeing him in that deeper position, may have thought, that could work. That could work in my current in my current setup. So maybe that's why, because that is something that we're lacking. Someone who, from those deeper positions, can progress us into the final third.
Larry, have you seen any videos yet on Hosam Aouar?
Yeah, I watched video clips of him on the YouTube channel, and the guy is class, man. He's class. I tell you, the guy is class. Yes, I agree. Now I know why everybody is saying Aouar. And I saw also a pictogram of analysis on YouTube, and been to do analysis of various CAMs in European right now. The guy is way on the top, because if you see the gap between him and the next person, I know that it's class. Really, it's class. If we can get Aouar, in fact,
there's a growth.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a growth point as well.
Let me tell you. Let's be honest. If we get Aouar, Aubameyang will score 40 goals. I'm telling you. Let me say about
40. Wow.
Let me not just be too, let me not just too far about it, but 30 is guaranteed for Aubameyang. Because if Aubameyang can be scoring 22 league goals, 23 league goals with this current squad, then if we have such creator, man, Aubameyang will pump in so many goals. Even Lacazette will score a lot of goals.
Wow.
I think, Alex,
sorry, go on, Raj. Sorry.
No, I was going to say is, I think another one of those reasons is Aouar's ceiling. He's 22 years old, so there's that argument around where he can go, right? And then also he is a guy who you could play in the positions that currently Willian, Aubameyang, and Pepe are occupying. He could play in those wide attacking positions should we, if we want him to do that. So there's a versatility point in there as well that I think that, when we have the dilemma, the debate that currently is ongoing around Partey versus Aouar, if you had to pick one, I guess the thing in his favour is that versatility as well, right?
Yeah. I did a video which was uploaded today in regards to Felipe Coutinho. Again, we've been linked to the Brazilian, and whether you agree or you believe the reports or not, if money wasn't an issue, given the choice between Hosam Aouar and Felipe Coutinho, I did a poll today, and so far, out of 268 votes, it is 84% for Hosam Aouar and 16% for Felipe Coutinho. So, yeah. How would you feel about having Coutinho in the Arsenal side? Would you not even contemplate that argument there?
You mean?
Yeah, go, Larry. You go for it.
No, okay. Let me get you, Alex. You mean in comparison with Aouar and Coutinho, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think I would choose Aouar. I'll choose Aouar.
Okay.
Because yes, I would choose Aouar. Okay.
And for you, Raj?
Yeah. So the two questions are, if it's a question of either or, would I take? I would take Aouar. I'm not surprised the poll came out that way. I think that there's there's enough arguments to say that we go in that direction. But if the question is purely, would I take Coutinho in this team? Yes, I would. I think it's very arrogant from an Arsenal perspective to write off a player who is look at his CV and look what he's still doing. All right, he was at. Look at the teams that he's playing for. Look at what he was doing in the Champions League. We're not even qualified for the Champions League. Look what he was doing in the latter stages of the Champions League, performing at that level still. It'd be very arrogant for us to turn around at this point and say he's not good enough to play for Arsenal. That's nonsense. He could certainly play for Arsenal. I think there's questions around his production. There's questions around whether he flatters to deceive a little bit. If you look at his numbers, does it really suggest that he is as effective as sometimes he may seem to be? You put a highlight reel out of Felipe Coutinho, it will look great. But does he do it every game? Is he consistent? Is he good at playing in a team which he needs to take a very senior role in? I don't know. So I think there's that stuff. But listen, I would take him absolutely. But if it's a choice, I take Aouar. The ceiling, I think the skill set. A number of reasons. The fact that I can't see Coutinho being able to play at the base of a midfield, but I think Aouar can. So there's those things as well.
Okay. Let us also consider one thing, because there's a reason why Barcelona loaned him to Bayern Munich, because probably it was not living up to expectation. There are many reasons to that. Probably the style of the manager does not suit his style of play. So it's not a matter of just choosing or taking Coutinho because he's good. Will Arteta like him? Can he suit into Arteta's team, Arteta's plan? We should also consider that. But in the absence of anything, I will take Coutinho.
Okay, that's all right. Let me get back into the live chat. Again, it's just there's a question for you guys, not for me. Alex, do you think we wasted Jack Wilshere by overplaying him at the age when his body was not fully developed? Raj?
I think the evidence would suggest yes. I think the reason why the evidence would suggest yes is not necessarily to do with his age as much as it is the style of play that he had. So, when they analyze a lot of Wilshere's injuries, a lot of it can be stemmed to the fact that he makes very late movements. One. Two, a lot of those very late movements draw a lot of tackles. He wins a lot of fouls. So he's getting battered, back and forth for a long period of time. So, yeah, maybe overplaying him, yes, because of that style of play. Should we have protected him more? Maybe. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether if we would have rested him more, I'm not sure whether he would have gone on to achieve better things. I'm not convinced of that. I think, that might have been a small factor as to he could have stayed more injury free. He may have had a bit more confidence in some ways, but I'm not sure that was a reason why he didn't end up hitting the ceiling that we hoped for him to hit.
Larry, your thoughts on Jack Wilshere?
He also is a fantastic player, a good one at that. But one, I think the shape of his leg also contributed. You understand? The shape of his leg contributed, and then like Raj said, such people don't go on tackles. They don't go on tackles because they will never be balanced because they don't have straight legs. Then also another thing I discovered is that he has attitudinal problem too, because I remember one time they caught him smoking, they caught him drinking, and he went wild because they tried to discipline him, and that was how Wenger started loaning him out. But I think the body shape also contributed.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Amit has asked me like a similar question, and I did say to Amit, I mean, I go back many, many years supporting Arsenal, and I remember a particular player who had like a similar physiology. Malcolm McDonald used to call him bandy legs, and I know he retired at age of 29 because he suffered an injury a year before he retired, and it gets to do with the physiology. His ankles are so prone to getting injured, and I think Raj as well is right that the way he played would invite, tackles over there. And of course, the ankles being so fragile, he suffered a lot of injuries. But yeah, I mean, where is he now? Is he about to be sold by West Ham, isn't he? What a shame.
It is a
still in his
shame.
late 20s, I think. Late 20s? Is he?
Yeah, he probably is in his late 20s. I wouldn't be surprised if he's around that 20, 27, 28, mark now. I mean, it is sad because I thought West Ham was a good move for him in the end. I thought, he's a West Ham fan. I think he's grown up as a West Ham fan.
Yeah.
So it was a good, I think.
His first game against Sheffield United in the Carabao Cup, they were all of them on the field on that day. They were all under 19s. I think under 17s. Then Wilshere was so good. That was in 2007. You understand? On the Carabao Cup, they pummeled Sheffield United 4-0. So since then, I've been following him. I love him so much. Did you watch his goal? This combination between him and Giroud, and that's a one-time goal that never happened, and it was he initiated it and he ended it in the net. He was such a talented player, but I don't know. His life is just cut short.
Larry, it was when the first time I saw Wiltshire, I think it was in an Emirates Cup game. And I think I want to say we were playing Rangers or someone like that. And I remember just the way that he was confident and just so direct and just so pure in how he was playing. He just looked like this generational talent, and he continued to look like this generational talent as he kind of got bled into the first team. And it really looked like I had no doubt this guy was going to be England captain. I had no doubt he was going to be England captain. I thought he was so good, so talented.
Honestly,
so sad. Yeah, so sad to see it. Just partly it's because he was incredibly talented. We could never really find out what his position was. What type of midfielder was he going to be? Should he really have been developed into a more attacking player than he ended up being? There was thoughts about whether he should be a number 10. We definitely didn't play him as a number 10. Could that have been the difference? I don't know. It's a lot of hindsight, but it's a shame. Such talent.
Yeah. When RVP left, he gave him the number 10 shirt. He was given the number 10 shirt after Van Persie, before it was transferred to Z when he left to West Ham. So in fact, till tomorrow when I remember when I read Jack Wilshere, I shed tears for him. I'm telling you.
Yeah, such a talent, But we'll go back into the live chat. Just a few more before we go on to the last topic. Magic A says that I'm seeing all over Instagram we have submitted a bid for around 57 million euros. Wow, so Arsenal do have money. They do have money. Isaac, unfortunately, says that there's a bit. We're not going to talk about the money situation again, Raj. I've grown grey hairs. Isaac says there's a bit of a connection problem here, and I will probably comment here now. I mean, Kenya, maybe the distance might be affecting the waves. Listen, that's something that can be overcome. We'll try and get you on another show in the future. As she says, the reports come from Teddy Foot. Don't know how reliable they are. I will check them out after we're done here.
Well, apparently they are the ones that first broke the Gabriel news.
Could be reliable.
Apparently,
yeah.
I know that Arsenal are preparing a new bid about 3 days ago, but I don't know the amount. So this might confirm it.
It says Lauren did nothing wrong. I don't blame him for leaving. He was shown no respect by the club, and he returned the favour. Whoa. Okay.
Well, do you know what? Like at the end of the day, I kind of don't see what the big problem is. In some ways, I don't think that he was good enough anymore to play for Arsenal anyway. So I don't think, I don't think it was a loss for us when he left. As I said, he was a good servant for us, and I think it was time for him to go. I think that there was this narrative with Koscielny, this really bizarre narrative with Koscielny that he turned down Bayern Munich and Barcelona, therefore he's an Arsenal legend. Firstly, I'm not really sure it was proven that he turned down those clubs. I'm not really sure where that came from. Secondly, he may have got offers from them to be a backup option. I mean, Vermaelen went to Barcelona, and that didn't work out well for him. So he may have looked. It's all well and good saying, "Oh, he rejected Barcelona to be what, a bench player." Like that, you've got to factor those things in. I found it very strange. People are saying, "Oh, he played through injuries for Arsenal." He's paid. He's not doing this for free. Like, these things don't. So at the end of the day, good servant for Arsenal. He was probably our best defender during periods. I never thought he was world class, but definitely good servant. When it was time to go, it was a good time for him to leave, and he was out. And that's that. I'm not sure about this real narrative around, Koscielny being this world class hero that we did wrong. But equally, I'm not really sure he did anything wrong either. Really, so it's all fine for me.
I think he forgot. Most of the players they do forget that he who pays the pipers dictates the tune. If you pay a piper to come and spoon for you, you will tell him what kind of tune you want. He can't dictate to you. No matter how long you have served the club, the club pays you, and also they have projected your image. You need to respect that. A club that took you in as a quiet defender, and when you are going, you became, what they call him, Bossiani, because he became a boss. Yes, he became a very good defender, but I don't know. He let that. You see, one thing I used to like is when you're on a journey, you should always think about the end point of your journey. It's very important. That he made a mistake. He will have been a national legend, well respected, but now nobody's mentioned his name, and I don't think he'll be free to come, though he has apologized, but it took him so long to do that.
Absolutely. Just a few more comments before we go to the last topic. Okay. Alex, obviously Arteta had a great deal to do with Alba's stay. I knew the way he had transformed the team, Arteta had done something to do with the stay. Well, okay, yeah, again, I hold my hands up and I stand corrected. Just a couple more. Let's have a look. The Arteta effect. Okay, and maybe one more could be. Lauren gave us 9 years and was promised to move on a free transfer by the club. That's what I read as well at that time, and it appears that the club had reneged on that decision there. The club broke a promise to him after 9 years of service. I tend to agree with Raj. That really, I mean, for the last 2-3 seasons, this label of being like world class, I don't think he ever. He played for France, of course, but was he world class? I would probably debate that until the cows come home.
He wasn't a regular for France either, and people can't put him in the same bracket as your Sol Campbells, even Kolo Touré on his day. The Adams. You can't put him in that bracket. How many trophies did we win with Laurent Koscielny leading us at centre back? How many? Not many. No, and I'm not saying that's his fault. I'm not saying he is to blame, but I can think of many instances off the top of my head where personal errors that he made led to goals in big games. So I think he was a good player. He was a good servant. He was probably our best centre back for a period of time. Not world class. Class.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. He's good, but it's not great.
Yeah, not world class.
But he was good. He was good. It was good. It was good. Yes, it was good there.
Okay, and then there's a last topic that we're going to talk about, and I'm sure it might cause big divisions. I'm kind of bracing myself. Oh my goodness! All right, so after the Carabao Cup match where we beat Leicester City, again I didn't see the game. I've just gone by what my brother told me and little bits of pieces I saw on YouTube. So I didn't see the game live. I had other more important things I had to get on with, but Arteta was quizzed about our number 10. Yeah, so number 10 didn't feature. Neither did Matteo Guendouzi, the bad boy of Arsenal. Neither one of them featured on the bench. Anyhow, so when asked about Mesut Ozil's absence, Arteta says it's very difficult for Arsenal midfielder to get back into the squad, says Mikel Arteta. I'll read the full report and then we can debate or just go on through it. So Mikel Arteta had admitted that it's very difficult for Mesut Ozil to break back into the Arsenal side after leaving the midfielder out for a fourth consecutive matchday squad. The Gunners have won the first two Premier League games. And remember, guys, we won the FA Cup. We won the Community Shield without our number 10. So asked to explain the prolonged absence of Ozil, who is in the final year of his contract from the team, Arteta said the team is evolving. You can see the level they are achieving. This is where we are at the moment. We want to evolve more and play better and compete better. We need to keep maintaining that. I'm happy with the performance here. How difficult they are making things for the coaching staff to select the squad. We are picking the players that we believe are the best for each game. You can see we keep training. It's what we're trying to do. You can see the players are changing. We are using. It's very difficult every week, not just for Mesut Ozil, but for some other players as well as to make the squad. Every week, we try to pick the right players. Of course, I understand and respect your question, but I have to try and do my job as fair as possible. I try to select the players that are, in my opinion, in better condition. So for me, personally, I think it's clear there that he's trying to pick the best players to get the best results to make the fan base happy. Now, Larry, I know you sent me a message and you said you want to try and be like diplomatic about the situation. How do you see the comments there from Mikel Arteta in regards to Mesut Ozil?
I used to speak for Ozil, but after listening to Arteta's last comments, I begin to retrieve and try to understand why he doesn't want Ozil to play for him. But in as much as I agree with what he said, I don't believe that is the only reason about the teams evolving. I don't think so. Because if Ozil, our number 10, could not get a match as low as Carabao Cup, then there's something wrong. I agree with Arteta. Fine, he will not feature in the Premier League. Yes, he will not feature him in FA Cup. But how about Carabao Cup, as small as it is? I know. But upon there are some issues concerning Ozil that is above Arteta. It's probably, and I believe one, because of the question and answer, especially what he said about the board, that nobody can send him away until he wants to leave. And I also believe probably what the statement he made about the Muslims in China, there is politics also. There is politics. There's a bit of politics behind it. Because I still don't believe that no matter how bad Ozil can be, that it cannot even feature in Carabao Cup. That's if David Luiz is selected, how much more Ozil? And I don't think when we talk about levels, playing levels, I don't think David Luiz can contribute better than Ozil into that Carabao Cup team. So you always say that you should not play player because of reputation. Yes, but I don't think that Ozil is that bad that I can't feature in Carabao Cup. I believe there's still something more to it that they didn't want to tell us.
So, Lara, let me try and explain if I understand. So you're saying that you don't think it's for footballing reasons. You think it's for personal reasons why they're not selecting him to play.
I'm considering both. Arteta has the right. Probably he doesn't want to involve Ozil in his plans, or maybe Ozil could not match up to his own plans. But what I'm saying is, it could not be as that bad as Carabao Cup. Those teams is selected for Carabao Cup. Let's be honest with ourselves. I believe there's something about it. Anyway, like I said, I totally agree with your statement that you don't select player based on reputation. But I don't think his reputation will have gone that bad that he cannot feature in Carabao Cup. Even if you don't play him in the Premier League, which is so important for us. But not Carabao Cup, for God's sake. That's my
Raj,
point.
thoughts?
I think there's two sides to this coin. Let's just, make an assumption here, right? Let's just assume there's nothing dodgy going on at all. Let's assume everything's hunky-dory, just for argument's sake. A simple question. Even that Carabao Cup team that got laid out, in the system that we played, which is exactly the same system that we've been playing in the Premier League recently under Arteta, where does Ozil fit in that system? Right? Very simple question. Where does he fit? For me, there is nowhere that he fits in that system, because he does not fit in a system where he's playing one of those wide roles, because those are winger roles. Reece Nelson and Pepe were playing as wingers. He's not going to play in one of those roles. Is he going to play in one of those central midfield roles? He's not. Those are deep-lying playmaker roles. Those are engine room roles that were being played. He can't play in those roles. So let's just assume everything is fine for a second. He still doesn't get in. And I think this goes to Arteta's point. He was talking about how the team has evolved. He's talking about the direction of the team, and he's talking about people competing for places in the context of that evolution. Where is he in terms of where he fits into that evolution? So that's number one. But number two, on the flip side of this, and this is what we were talking about the other day, and I agree with Larry, it's very strange that for a player of his quality, you can't even make the bench, because if in the game we decided to change tactics because we're chasing a goal, because whatever, and suddenly we need a number 10, why wouldn't you have him as an option? Even in the Carabao Cup, why wouldn't you have him as a bench option? So that's why there's got to be something strange. So although I understand that where we're evolving and where we are now, I can't see where he fits into this tactic. We play I can't see at all where he would fit. I still think it's weird to not have him as a bench player.
Okay, right. In as much as I agree with what you said, but on your first point, that because of the style we are playing now, we are playing 3-4-3 because there's no central midfielder in form of Ozil or Aouar. By the time we get Aouar, they're going to change to 4-3-3. I listen to analysis a lot, and I listen to different pundits. This is what I had. You understand? We are playing 3-4-3 now because we don't have a central attacker midfielder. By the time we get that, it will change to 4-3-3. Are you getting me? So I don't see it as totally the reason why Ozil cannot come and even to be on the bench in the Carabao Cup, like you said. You understand? There's something deeper than what we know. You understand what I'm saying? I always say, I agree with what Alex used to say, that you don't play player based on reputation. Agreed. But there's some levels where you play a player. David Luiz was just coming out of a neck injury. Why was he played in Carabao Cup? His contribution is not better than, for me, it's not better than what Ozil can contribute. You understand? If Ozil played, you understand, David Luiz at this level we are talking about. So for him not to even make a team such as Carabao Cup, not even being on the bench, there's something deeper. Alex, please, there's something deeper. I'm not trying to force my idea on you, Alex.
No, it's okay.
Larry,
if we look at the stats over the last, say, 4 games, including the FA Cup, the Community Shield, the first 2 Premier League games, we've won all those games without Mesut Ozil. We've won it without Mesut Ozil.
We are not arguing that if you play Ozil, we will win. I am not saying that. I am the only friendly he played in, they beat us. Are you getting me? But what I'm saying is this. It's not that Ozil is that bad that they could not feature him in the Carabao Cup. I am trying to intensify my argument that there's something deeper that we don't know. This is what I feel. It's my opinion.
I think, Larry, but I think we're sort of unanimous in that. There's obviously something. There's obviously something.
I'm not arguing that if Ozil is not playing, we will not win or will win. No, I don't even have confidence in him. But at least it cannot be that bad that he cannot make a bench in Carabao Cup.
But even
please,
if you look at the training sessions there, Matteo Guendouzi looks quite happy. Ozil looks quite happy. I don't know.
That's why I was saying there's something deeper that we don't know. Because I don't
There is
know why
something.
Ozil can be happy for not playing him. Even he cannot make bench on the Carabao Cup, and instead he's a national player. What is he still doing in the club? This is what I'm saying. There's something that we don't know that is not open to us.
There is
Martin,
certainly something deeper. Yeah.
Yes, please, right.
Certainly, Larry. I think there is something deeper. I think there is, but again, I think even you mentioned the point around the skill set not being there yet for us to transition into a different formation. Look, I think from everything I understand about Aouar, as much as he's a creative player, it would be wrong to assume that he is purely an attacking midfielder. If you look at his work rate, allegedly his work rate is immense. He's got a real engine on him, and so I think that the debate a little bit is we need to move to a different formation potentially at some point to create a little bit more attacking kind of options for us, but we can't do that with Ozil. And I think that if we move to that formation you described, as much as he's got that creative element, he can still do all the work rate, all the dirty stuff that I think Arteta really needs this team to do. So I think we need to bear that in mind. But I certainly agree with you that I think there's got to be something weird for the fact that he can't make the bench in the Carabao Cup. There has to be something strange.
Thank you. I don't see why he should be happy for not making a bench with Carabao Cup. Even if it is because he's earning 350,000 per week and he thinks he's happy about that. There's something that is more than money. You understand? His reputation is declining. This is it. He's beginning to have the player is beginning to get slashed.
I agree.
So
agree.
That would be a concern to him. Why will he be happy? Okay, if it is Gandhizi, okay, fine. We know he has attitudinal problem. He's a young boy who still have a lot ahead of him. Yes, we are saying no club is coming for him. Next season, the club might be queuing for him. What is paying me for this is that there is no platform for him to even to play, at least to show that he can still do that. He can still play. This is what is paying me.
Okay,
it's this motivation point, that I find really interesting, Larry, because again, this is a guy who was so good. This is a guy at Real Madrid. Jose Mourinho said best number 10 in the world. When he left Real Madrid, Cristiano Ronaldo was devastated. He was really upset they sold him. There's quotes to back that up. He is so upset. Look at the titles that he's won. Look at the World Cup. Personal awards, team awards. How can a player who's done all that be okay with what is happening right now? How can he be okay at just not playing?
There's politics behind this thing. I'm sure, and I'm very sure any day we lose a match, Ozil will be happy in his corner of his room. He'll be singing praises. I'm telling you.
Let me go back into the live chat. It's been like a wildfire in there. Isaac says, Larry, Aouar would definitely fit Arteta's style of play. He presses forward and comes back to defend. I have watched him come back and won possession in our own box.
Exactly.
There's also reports that we're getting a great doctor from PSG who is a professional. I've read this as well, a professional, and he has a great success at dealing with players with injuries. Revives them within no time. Well, we're probably going to need a lot of that. In the midst of all this talk, let's not forget about Smith Rowe. I believe with the right coaching and with proper playing time, he can become a Foden. And I agree with you as well, Majid. Bronze Dossa says, if you could put one Arsenal player of the past post-Invincibles in this squad, whom would it be? For me, Riziki. For you guys, who would you put in the squad?
Santi Cazorla, mate.
Riziki was not part of the Invincibles.
But he's a post.
Okay. I will. Yes, Riziki. Also Santi Cazorla.
Me
I'm
too.
finding it difficult to choose, but I think I'll choose Cazorla ahead of Riziki.
Okay. What else is there? Let's have a look. There's just been so many. Oh my goodness. I'll put this one. I don't know what is going on behind the scenes, but Ozil's time is done. If he wants to play or even be on the bench, he would have been by now. Time to move on from Ozil.
Yeah, Majid's right. He's right.
It might be right. It might be right.
That's right. And that's why I think Arsenal are trying to move on from. Anyway. Hey up, guys.
Alex, hold on. I quite agree with your point. I agree with your point. You understand that his time is done. But if it's a retrogression, you understand, you cannot just move from the top to the bottom one time. It has to be phase by phase. But at this time, it's not that bad that he cannot even be on a bench for Carabao Cup. This is what I'm saying. For Premier League, I ruled him out of Premier League because we don't want to play games with Premier League at all. We want to be sure of what we are doing. But for cups like Carabao Cup.
So would you like to see Ozil play in the Premier League games, Larry?
No, I'm just saying it. I cancelled him out of Premier League because we don't want to. No. His level he has gone down the level of Premier League. I agree with that.
But I think that's my point I'm trying to say as well. As well as Arsenal have been winning the games so far, touch wood, I think Arteta he's taken the League Cup competition very, very serious. All the games, Premier League games, there's no easy games. We've seen that. I think he's taken the League Cup serious as well, which is why we've not seen Ozil. But we can debate this all night long. I've only got an hour to go.
Right, you're not saying anything.
Where was I? I've lost my space now.
Right, are you an Ozil man?
Honestly, Larry, I loved it. I thought he's such a talented player. He was the way that we signed him. He was world class. How often do we sign a player at the peak of their powers? Like, it was just amazing. And seeing some of the things that he was doing on the pitch in those early years, I just feel like I just would love to know what's going on, mate. And as I said,
do you know when we signed him from Ozil, Ronaldo has to confront the president.
Yeah, he was so unhappy.
He was so unhappy because that's the person that gives him all his goals.
But Raj, do you think if the fan base knew the greater details or what's really going on, do you think that will pacify the fan base? No,
it depends what it is, really. It depends what it is, though, doesn't it? Well, also, I think Alex, I think a really important point is what we were saying over messages. At the moment, the fans don't really care because we're winning and we're doing really well. Exactly, and so, we're going to take Arteta's side. We're going to take the club stance because, we're doing fine. What I think is that if we started doing badly, and if we weren't winning games, and if we were losing games, and we still don't see an Arteta on the bench somewhere, and I think if the interviewer went and asked Arteta why isn't he on the bench, and Arteta said something about evolution, I think people wouldn't be so patient. I think they wouldn't accept that.
Exactly.
Raj, you say that, but clearly when I've spoken about Mesut Ozil over this week, the fan base is still divided because they want to know why isn't Ozil playing? Irrespective, we've won 2 Premier League games, we've won a record 14th time in the FA Cup, we've won the Community Shield. The fan base, I'm going to say the fanboys of Ozil, they're still not happy.
Do you know?
I think that's what you said. You said fanboys, and that's really important. Go on, Larry. Go on.
Yeah. You know, Ozil might be part of. There are some fans who join Arsenal because of Ozil. Do you know that?
Yeah.
There are so many fans, Chelsea fans today, who are Chelsea fans because of Mourinho. Yes, that's the fact. Are you getting me? So those such fans who came into Arsenal because of Ozil will always back him. They will always argue for him. This is what I want us to know. So those might be the ones who are still contemplating that Ozil must play. Ozil must play. They don't want to know. You know, some fans, they don't want to know whether you lose or win. As long as Ozil plays, they are satisfied. There are some fans at that level. But we can't be, like Alex used to say, we cannot say because of your reputation with fans, then we put you there, you don't perform anything. Are you getting me? But my argument is, it can't be that bad that it cannot be on the bench for Carabao Cup. Because it's a cup competition, it's not played week in, week out. Are you getting me? He comes in and go. He comes in and goes. If it's Premier League, no way. I support no way for Ozil in Premier League. But for Carabao Cup, for God's sake, if we play next week, maybe the next 3 months, we are not playing again. This is what I'm saying. You should at least be able to fit in that.
Someone came in the chat sometime this week, and they said that if Ozil wants game time, why can't we put him in the under 23 squad?
Well, I mean, but then,
$250,000 salary earner and under 23. What do you think? That is total information. It will be an insult on this person. And I think if we do that, that might even make him to leave Arsenal very fast.
And also, someone said today, if I think that Mesut Ozil is suffering some kind of form of a depression, and I had that debate with my brother maybe last year, especially with the situation with the situation when he was saying that, you know, when we win, I'm a German, and when we lose, I'm like the Turkish boy. And we actually debated it last year. We said there's a possibility maybe he could be suffering some kind of form of depression. I don't know. I don't know.
I think I don't know, but I think, you know, at the end of the day, if he was truly depressed, it would be very hard for him to get out of bed and turn up for training every day. You know, that would be very difficult. And so it's interesting to see that, you know, if he was depressed, it's interesting to know why he would be able to train and put effort into that process, but not be able to play a match, right? Like that doesn't reconcile. That doesn't reconcile. So I don't know. You know, I'd really hope it's not a mental health issue. That would be really upsetting if it was. But you know, it's just it doesn't quite. The evidence doesn't stack up for that for me. You know, although I think we must say, geez, you know, with the attack on when him and his wife and Kolasinac in the car, that whole incident, all the things that played out after that, people coming to his house. I mean, don't get me wrong, the guy must have gone through a lot this year. He probably felt very unsafe.
Absolutely.
And there definitely gone through stuff. He definitely went through stuff. But you know, is it now stopping him from playing matches? I don't know about that, right?
So go back to the live chat.
Yes.
Margie says that whatever is happening with Ozil's situation, we most probably will find out what's going on after he leaves the club. The truth will eventually come out, and the truth usually always does come out. Ashley D says the strange thing about this is all the time no one in the club is saying anything about this. Everyone is keeping quiet. Normally, someone sneaks out.
That confirms my argument that there's something deep. Nobody is anything. They are paying every week. There's something, Alex. There's something.
Yeah, Ashley D it's a really important point. Like, he's completely correct. Because what is interesting, as I said, you know, the last time we spoke, is that everyone's saving face. It feels like Ozil is saying just enough in social media to look like, I'm up for it. I want to play. I'm
exactly.
good. And Arteta and the club are making no sounds about any kind of misbehaving, any kind of bad attitude. They're not. They're saying, oh no, we're picking the team. We're just picking the best team. So there's no clash.
There's no clash.
So it would appear.
What it would appear. Yeah.
They asked him 3 questions in his last interview. He dodged them. Three different journalists were insisting on him to say something on Ozil. He would just tell them, yes, you know, we are picking the player that are playing right now, and the club. He dodged it exactly. He didn't mention Ozil one bit.
Yeah, you can't fault him, really. You know, I think it was a very diplomatic. It was a very diplomatic way. You know,
because he has to protect his job.
Arteta follows the board decisions about the number 10 is better than Ozil presently in Arsenal squad. The problem, because Ozil didn't agree to take a pay cut, no further excuse we can accept.
No, I mean, we discussed that the other day, and I think that's absolute nonsense.
We did.
I think it's absolutely nonsense. I don't know why you would say that. Like, I don't know how many times you say this. It is illegal to do that. You cannot drop someone because they didn't take a pay cut. They will sue you. You will lose. Okay,
exactly.
That's it. Move on.
And that is why no one is talking, because we have so much mafia play out in that boardroom. You understand? That is why they are not talking, because they knew it can't be because of that. His money is his money. If they want his money, they should be able to give him his details of what they want to use it for. After all, they still sack 55 stars.
Anyone's just tuning in now, we're going to wrap up in the next 5-10 minutes. I've got Raj, aka North Bank Ninja, and I've got LarryOne, who's becoming quickly part of the first team. Actually, both of these are in the first squad. Can't afford a TV.
Amazing.
We've just been talking about about Lon Koscielny, who's finally apologised. Actually, people told me this morning they didn't really believe his apology. I said, look, we all make mistakes. Even I make mistakes. I've also been talking about Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang as well, where he's actually said Arteta was a defining factor in him signing the contract extension, a fatherly figure. And we've just been talking about Mesut Ozil as well, the player who has divides the fan base like no other player that I have seen. I've been supporting Arsenal for 42 years. I've never seen that before in my life. But you pay your money, you take your pick. Right. So the last time into the live chat, let's have a look here. Vincent Man says, Larry is so right. There's something deeper than what Arteta is saying about the fitness, tactics, or anything like that. He is still a better creator than who we have presently in the position.
In what position? That's what I'm trying to say here. In what we don't play. He doesn't play in any of the positions that we are setting up with now.
What position are you talking about, man? Invincible man. Which position are you saying about the number 10 role? What position are you talking about?
Because if he's talking about number 10 role, we don't play a number 10 role.
Yeah.
We don't have it.
We don't play number 10 role, yes, but there's somebody that is doing something almost like number 10, and that's what this guy is talking about. We have Williams who is doing that. We have Ceballos who is trying to do that. But for me, even Ceballos is not in the class of Ozil when it comes to chance creators.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think, equally, Ceballos is playing as a deep-lying midfielder. There's a lot of work that he's doing in that role. Yeah, I think the question is, can Ozil do that work and still be a creator? I think the answer, no. Exactly. But that's the point. But then that's the point that answers the question, right?
That's why I exempt him from Premier League. But for Carabao Cup, I comes in a monthly or 2 months, you should be able to do something.
Raj, here's a question for you. Do you think we'll ever see Mesut Ozil play again for Arsenal?
When we spoke about this last, I think, given he wasn't on the bench of the Carabao Cup, no way.
Oh yeah.
No,
unless
that was it. Unless what? Sorry, Larry.
Unless if Arteta is sacked.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
African Soldier, welcome back, African Soldier. It says the game has evolved, but Ozil has failed to adapt to modern changes. He's a good player, but he is left behind.
I agree. I agree.
Ozil's not good enough. He's lost appetite for football. Panchetta Bonner says. Ozil is better than Willock.
It's really, I don't know about stuff. Stuff like this really bothers me, Alex, because it's like they're different players. These are different players. Okay.
Alex, you can't win Ozil supporters. You cannot win them. I'm telling you.
It's like saying Ozil is better than Peter Crouch. Like, what do you want to do with that information? Like, they're not the same type of midfielder. These two are not the same. Please, can we not do this? Don't do this to ourselves.
This guy might be an Ozil fan. He might be an Ozil fan. He might follow Ozil to Arsenal. Maybe.
Oh dear. Have you got any paracetamols?
Alex, how do you have a headache today again?
Oh dear. Actually, he says the other strange thing, no other club is offering to buy him apart from Al Nassr. That's the only club.
Well, yeah, it's the wages, isn't it? I mean, I'm sure we'd be willing to let him go on a free if someone would take those wages. Yeah. I don't think we want to do the Man United thing where we let Alex, the Sanchez route where you pay for so much money for him to go play for someone else. I don't think we want to do that, right? So,
if we let him go, even some clubs in the Premiership will take him.
Yeah, so Majid is agreeing with us basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, the clubs didn't want to buy Ozil because of his wages. No team can match Ozil's present wages. Yeah, it's just He stuck with us until the end of his contract. Ozil lost appetite for football from World Cup when Germany betrayed him.
Well, you know, it might have affected him, but these are things that are really hard to tell.
That was the origin. That was the origin. Because he felt so bad. He felt so bad that anytime they win, he is a German. But when they lose, is a Turkish. That's discriminatory. You know, German for such attitude.
The other strange thing is when Arteta first came, Ozil did get some game time, but since the lockdown, he has been completely frozen out.
It's a really good point. It was
that is a good point, actually.
And Ozil looked great when Arteta was playing him at the beginning. Do you remember the game against Man United in particular?
Yeah,
and he was excellent. He was excellent. Yeah, but I wonder whether during the Corona break, it was an opportunity for Arteta to change some of the things that he wanted about the team tactically, and that then saw the problem. And maybe other stuff happened in that time. You know, the stuff that we don't know about, the stuff that is obviously a bit weird, maybe that as well. But I think that also, you know, he probably evolved his tactics during that period.
Alex, pick one: Scalacci or Mustafi? Guys, that goes out to you guys.
Hey, guys, there's only one defender who currently plays in the Premier League that has won the World Cup. Mustafi.
But Raj, I hear this argument all the time. How much did he really? How much game time did he get to play?
No, he didn't. No. I think he scored a header. I think he scored a header.
I think he did, didn't he?
Yeah. I think he did. No, look. At the end of the day, it's bizarre though with Mustafi, isn't it? Because like he's still one of the most expensive defenders in Premier League history. You know, it's really strange on that. And I think the thing is with Mustafi, what I've always thought is there are a few ingredients which are actually really good. His jump is phenomenal. He's got the most ridiculously high jump. He's a very mobile player. Like he can get around quite well. And you know, I think what's interesting is that when Arteta's come in and clearly fixed up us as a defensive unit, he's actually looked okay. So you wonder how much of it is to do with the systems that he's been playing in. But you know, so maybe look to answer Amit's question, and I guess it's to you, Alex, not to me. But I would probably argue that you know, he probably picked Mustafi. I mean, Scalacci was that was interesting, wasn't it? That didn't last for very long. But no, yeah.
For you, Larry, Scalacci or Mustafi?
Of course, Mustafi. The problem with Mustafi that he commits some stupid fouls a lot. That's just the problem. It's a good. Any day Mustafi wants to play, you would think it's not Mustafi. You understand? But sometimes when you want to do that silly mistakes, you can head into the net. You can head towards the enemy. I don't know. It's inconsistent. That's the problem. Mustafi is not supposed to be sold with the effort he has put in since Arteta came before he got injured. But inconsistency is his problem. And I think he's always afraid. When he sees the opponent coming, he's always afraid. With that, he makes mistakes.
Well, do you guys remember when you know, when we had Koscielny and then when Mertesacker came and they worked as a pair, how much better Koscielny got because he had Mertesacker next to him? It was almost like Mertesacker was able to control all these kind of, you know, poor behaviors, you know, from whether it's irrational movements or whatever. And, you know, it's always felt maybe Mustafi, if he could have played next to a really, really experienced guy who could really understand, you know, I guess the argument is he's played a little bit under Luiz, and David Luiz is his own, he's his own entity, isn't he?
And the two of them are disasters.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Guys, let's get on to the last topic I wanted to talk about. There's some business about Premier League action coming on Monday. Yes, Liverpool versus Arsenal. Twice, yes. Monday, then Thursday is going to be against Liverpool again in the. Oh my goodness, incredible enough. Can I get what's a prediction? Your thoughts on Monday? How do you think things will go, Larry?
It's not going to be easy because Liverpool will come with a serious rage, because twice now. Klopp has not been able to beat Arteta. I know Arteta is class, yes, but Well, I hope we'll be able to make something out of it. The only thing I know is that if Arteta could study and not allow Firmino to operate, if there's any defender that can police Firmino, then Thiago, we should get somebody who will get him annoyed, who will always get him annoyed. If Thiago is not able to operate, to link with Firmino, you know, Firmino does all the dirty work for the two other strikers, and he lays some deadly passes. But he get frustrated so easily. So if somebody, I know Rob Holding is very good at that, in making people to get annoyed and get angry. We may be able to make out something out of it. And who knows? Because let me tell you, if you look at the history of Liverpool and Arsenal, it has always been funny games. Funny games. Even they, I listened to Klopp today. He was threatened. He was threatened. He was saying Arteta has transformed Arsenal, and Arsenal is no longer the Arsenal they used to know. And the formation and what the spirit that is raging in Arsenal now is different from last season, which is true. So I believe we can make something out of that game if we don't get intimidated. I know Liverpool will rush us, and also they will use long ball. I'm sure of that. They love using long ball. So our defenders should be prepared. I know. I don't want to set any predictions because Liverpool Arsenal game, you never can tell.
Raj, thoughts on Monday night? Monday night football.
I think if we drew, it would be an outstanding result. Look, and I think let's look at it. This Klopp is a fantastic manager, and he said a lot of nice things about Arteta. But make no mistake about it, you know, he would have looked at the two games they played against us. He would have looked at how we set up, you know, in the other big games, and he will be finding ways in which he can try and mess us around and exploit us and try and take advantage of any weaknesses that he wasn't aware of prior. You know, he would have done his analysis, he would have done his homework. He'll know that we are going to be quite happy to let them come at us, and we'll try and beat the press. He knows that, so he'll be making plans against that. And I think for us, I think the game plan will probably be fairly straightforward. I think we'll try and contain them. I think we'll try and score some goals on the counter. I think we'll try and beat the press. I think we'll do all the things. There's no reason for Arteta to not do the same things that he's done in the past games. And I think hopefully, you know, we will restrict as many easy chances as we can. And hopefully when chances come our way, we'll take at least one of them. I think it'll be crucial to see if we concede early, how we react. We've done that really well of late. When in Chelsea in the FA Cup final, I thought it was excellent that we conceded early, but stayed to the plan. And so I think if we concede early against Liverpool, it's going to be really important that we do that. So let's see. Look, they are the favourites and they are awesome. And, you know, like if we can get a draw, it's going to be brilliant. And I think it will do wonders for our confidence.
Yes, I agree. But let me tell you something. Arteta is also tactically good. He's very tactically. He will also think in that direction you just spoke now. Are you getting me? So he will also be thinking, he knows that Liverpool will come with rage at us, and they might make mistake. Because I know they will rush us. They want to rush us. Because there are past two matches. They would like to score early goal, thinking they will score that and destabilize us. But forgetting that the new Arsenal is different from the old Arsenal. You understand? So
Larry,
yes, I agree with what you said. You understand?
I agree with you. Yeah.
And also make mistake along that line. This is what I'm saying.
What I was going to say, Larry, was because I watched the Leicester game on Wednesday. What was really interesting. That's why
I said I don't want to set predictions, because Anfield is a fortress. You know, Sadio Mane has not lost any game in Anfield since he came.
Yeah,
that's the record.
You'd hope without the fans, it's less of a problem. You know, you'd hope so.
That's another plus.
I mean, what I was going to say before, right, just very quickly, is watching the Leicester game. It was very interesting how Leicester didn't press us when we were in our own area. When we had the ball and our defenders had it, they weren't pressing. They were letting us have it and they were backing off. And clearly that's a reaction to seeing how well we are beating the press and how we're actually exploiting teams that press us. What will be really interesting is, will Liverpool do a similar thing? We scored goals against Liverpool through taking advantage of their press by literally planning for their press, moving the ball into areas, creating space. We did that.
That's exactly my argument.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see if Liverpool don't do that anymore and how we react. So yeah, we'll see.
And there's a movement that is becoming a trademark with Arsenal now, which Liverpool doesn't really know. You understand how we move ball from the back to the wing, cross over to Aubameyang before he put it in the net. I know Klopp might have been watching it, but also Arteta is also thinking of how to create a move. You understand how to counter everything of Klopp. Arteta is also thinking of how to counter it. So Arteta is a very tactical person. That's if it had to be Emery days, I will have been sitting and say, okay, I'm expecting 4-0, and I will have been preparing my mind for 4-0. But this one, no. Even if you're going to lose, maybe 2-1, maybe 1-0. It's not going to be whitewashed like in those days of Emery.
Let me go to the live chat just for the last one before we wrap this one up. Majid A says, I think the Liverpool game will depend on which Arsenal shows up. If we end up playing like we did against West Ham, we will lose. But if the whole team fights and give 100% all game, we can win. Ashley D says, last 2 games we rode our luck to beat them. They were all over us. This time could be they will be third time lucky. Following from that,
a win is a win. No matter how we play, it's a win. That's what we want.
Yeah, exactly. Or a draw.
Or draw.
Draw at the least.
Win. Yes, at least.
We're going to be actually signing these players or what? All right, thanks for that. And they got a quick reminder. You can donate using the super chat button on the right hand side of the corner. Also, our moderator Monty has got his own channel as well, please. So those 140 of you watching now, I'm looking for like 10%. 10% of 140 is like 14. So 14 of you, please go over there and subscribe to our moderator's channel. He's done a great job for us. I can't imagine anybody else moderating the live chat. Wonderful chap out there. I've not even met him before. I've not met Monty. And we live in the same country. Anyway, Magic says, Thiago plays for them. We will need to shut him down. He can be their creative spark in the midfield for them. But yeah, let's not think about so much what they can do. Let's focus what we can do. Yeah, it's a little revolution under Mikel Arteta. Just a couple more before we wrap this one up. Let's have a look here.
What I want is El Nani and Xhaka to brace up. This is the problem. Those 2 players should brace up. I trust Gabriel, and I know also, I don't know who they want to use. Maybe they use Saliba or Holding. I don't know. But the defender, just our DM, the 2 of them should brace up to be able to hold on, to hold Salah and Mane.
I can't see them playing Saliba for, I can't see them giving him his first start away at Anfield in the Premier League. I can't see that. I was surprised.
Yeah,
it would. I was surprised he didn't start against Leicester actually, but it perhaps shows they want to take a little bit more time. Interesting.
What do you think about Saliba? We paid 20 million plus and sent him back on loan, and now he's still not ready to play for us. Was this a good move, Raj?
Look, I think by all accounts, it still seems to be an outstanding move. This guy has got incredible potential. Let's remember, he's still young. I think he's 19, right? He's just a kid. He's just a kid. And I think that, I think that was Arteta's point. He sort of said we have to be very careful about how we play him and when we play him. Right. I think there's a very long-term view around this. I do find it interesting that he's not played at all. Again, I found it very interesting that he didn't play against Leicester. They showed some footage from training that was available through the website. And they showed him, in training, and he looked excellent. He looked very confident. He looked completely at home, completely assured. So I think it's going to be a matter of time. And I think we know that, it feels like the future, the vision, if we go to a back four, is to have Saliba and Gabriel as that two. I think that's the vision, isn't it? And so I think it's a long-term plan, like Majid personally, and I think that he'll prove to be an excellent signing. But I am. But I do sort of agree. I think it is a bit strange he's not played at all.
Yeah.
Okay, but if they're not playing Saliba now, and then Rob Holding is going on loan, so who do we play?
Yeah.
And Pablo Mari.
Well, I think that they're not going to loan Holding out anymore, right? I think that they kind of pulled the plug on that. Yeah. So, yeah, perhaps not.
Amit says, Liverpool play a high line. We need to exploit it. For Liverpool, who would you pick on the right? Pepe or William, Raj?
Willian is a proven big game player. He's so experienced. It will be so vital in this game. This being said, I think, Majid raised a good point, because do you remember when we went and played Liverpool away last season, and we started with Pepe, and we kind of did this thing where we just tried to defend and hope for something on the counter. We basically just relied on Pepe's pace. And do you remember there was this really great moment where he took on Van Dijk, and everyone was like, oh, it's the first time anyone's beaten Van Dijk. And there was another time where he was clean through and he had a bad finish. So it was very, it looked really like he was going to be a very potent threat at that point. So based on that, it could be interesting if Arteta says, oh, okay, maybe that would be useful, because you can try and pin them back a bit, if you've got that pace. But I think that he's going to start Willian for that experience. I think he's a big game player. I think he'll start.
Yes, I quite agree that he should start William, then use Pepe as a joker.
Yeah. All right, just a couple more live comments before we wrap this one up. Holding going on loan doesn't make sense. Well, he's not going out on loan now. They've reneged. It's not happening now. He's not going out on loan. Majid has reminded us we also have Pablo Mari. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
And don't ask us about Pepe. What's wrong with Pepe? He's got a lot of work to do. He's got William in front of him. So he's got now more competition for that position there. Maybe one more, I think. Panel, do you believe Pepe should play the number 10 role? Larry?
I believe, I said it on my first appearance, if you remember. We can if we couldn't get our, I said I should priority on Party, because we need spine. We need spine at the back. We can manage Pepe in that number 10 role. He may not be 100% good at it, but he can dribble and he can take on defense. This is what I know. He can take on. We knew what he did, like you said. We knew what he did to Van Dijk. So he can take on defense, and we need somebody like that. So I believe he can play the 10 role. He's a left footer, and left footers are good as creators.
And Monty's chipped in. He says Pepe is yet to show his worth. Half the money we paid for him.
I think we're taking long-term bets, aren't we? These are long-term bets, and I think that it's easy to criticize Pepe. The fact that we signed him, in a bad season under Emery. He's had a lot of change. He's underwent a lot of change, and I think last season, he was our top creator. He didn't get the top of assists, but he created the most chances. So I think, in relative terms compared to the rest of our side, I think, he's been doing okay. But I think Monty's point is a good one around the price we paid for him. We paid a lot of money for this guy. So when you pay that much money, is more expected. Personally, I think this is a season where there's no excuse. Okay, there's, we've started off well as well. There's none of this disruption. He's got to show what he's made of, right? Absolutely. He's got to establish himself as a leader in this team. He has to.
Yeah, it's true, but what we paid for him is not what really landed in Lille. And that's the reason why Sanlehi left. We knew the politics, the financial politics, financial mathematics and engineering they did. And we see what it resulted. So, but Pepe, I believe, with time, Pepe will develop into a good player.
Okay. Just a couple more. Iceboy says, got to shut down Sadio Mane. This guy has been intense lately, but not when we've got Holding. Holding so far has showed him who's boss. So I hope Holding's gonna play actually. And
I really hope you don't live to regret those words, Alex. You know, I really hope it. We're gonna. Oh God.
That's the Holding will hold him.
Goodness gracious.
Yes, he pocketed him in the charity cup. You know, Holding is good at that. When we played Chelsea in 2017, that was what he did to what's the name again? Costa. He got Costa so infuriated that Costa has to kick him. You see,
he was outstanding that game. He was outstanding that game.
He's living up to his name. Rob Holding players.
But I think it worked well because he had Per Mertesacker showing him the art of defending, you know. So
there's a theme here, isn't it? Per Mertesacker's had a great effect on his partners, it feels like, you know, and I think that there's something to be said there.
Absolutely.
Gabriel is doing well.
Okay, and just maybe one more, I think.
But, you know, as a general point on Holding, I think it's a really interesting case of him because it feels like we all had very high prospects, you know, very high expectations. He's 25 years old now. Okay, so he's not old, but he's not young. He's not a young, you know, prospect anymore. He needs to really establish himself. And unfortunately, it feels like Arteta doesn't quite see what he needs from him. It feels like Arteta doesn't quite see all the ingredients he needs in a centre-back from Rob Holding. And I think there's been times in recent games where, particularly, you know, when we're playing in this 3, obviously, where it's a little bit questionable where his positioning is, and sometimes he's getting sort of caught out of possession. I like the guy, but I think if we had really high expectations for him still, I'm not sure that we would have signed Gabriel, to be honest. I know that we needed a left-footed centre-back. I get that. But, you know, the fact of the matter is we were thinking about loaning him out. So he's clearly not like in the, you know, around the top of the pecking order. Let's see. Like, I've always thought he's a good centre-back. I'd rather have him than Mustafi personally in my team. So, look, let's see what Arteta can do with him. And it might be a case that he actually ends up establishing himself as the senior defender. Because compared to Saliba and compared to Gabriel, he is the senior player, right? Luiz is only going to be around for the rest of the season. So, you know.
Okay. I think maybe one more, and I'll give Monty, our moderator, the last shout. I agree, start Willian. He has experience. He's more creative and better on set pieces. Then second half, can bring in Pepe to use his speed. And I think Arteta's been doing it, hasn't he, over the last couple of games? He's been starting with Willian, then bringing on Pepe as a straight swap. But I can't see them playing. They can't fit in at the same time. I can't envisage that. It's either one or the other. Yeah.
No, not in this formation. Not in this formation.
Not in this formation.
Guys, I believe we've come to an end. We've come to the end of this rather interesting Easy Talk on a Friday night. So I'm just looking for a moderator. Where's my moderator? Where is he? Oh, there he is. There he is. It's been a very interesting one. We're debating again. Our number 10. I'm not going to mention his name. I've got a headache, man. I've got a headache. And I've been talking about Koscielny. He's a prodigy there, and of course Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who's spoken about the deal, and Mikel Arteta helped him get the deal done. Guys, it's been a blast. An hour and 30 minutes. It's been very, very interesting. Very interesting.
Good chat.
Yeah.
I don't think we can spend. I'm not sure we can spend 1 hour. I said I'm not sure we can end this program within an hour. It's not possible.
Well, back in the day, I used to. 45 minutes. That was it.
That was then when Canon for that team was.
That was then. This is now.
I think, Larry, we talk too much. Larry, we need to be more succinct with our words, don't we?
No, guys, listen, it's been an absolute blast. And again, you know, the numbers were quite high. The live chat was quite lively as well, and it was really, really good. Really, really good. Again, the Easy Talk is always the flagship live segment on Cannon Foy TV. Those of you who are probably new to watching Cannon Foy TV, if you like what you heard, consider subscribing to Cannon Foy TV. Also, hit the bell notification button so you can receive all the content across the platform here. Raj, again, man, it's been a pleasure having you back on again, man. Part of the first team.
Thank you. Oh, loved it. It's such a great day for me to be announced as part of the first team. Amazing. I'm gonna have a nice whiskey and enjoy the rest of my Friday night. Well, thank you for having me again, Ace. And Larry, great as always. I loved it.
Brilliant,
Thank
brilliant, Larry.
Same here. Thank you.
Do you have a social media account that you like people to contact, or no, Raj?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I mean, we've got North Bank. I'm pretty sure my handle at North Bank Ninja.
Okay.
So yeah, that is my handle.
Okay.
I'm having to check, but yes, it's at North Bank Ninja is my handle.
I think I need to have my handle. I'll add you to my handle. Not Bank Ninja.
So what I'll do, I'll leave the link for Raj's Twitter handle there, North Bank Ninja, at North Bank Ninja on Twitter there. Larry, you're not so prominent on social media, are you? I know you've got an email account and
I have Twitter account. I also have.
Oh, right, okay. What is it?
My Twitter account is at
LarryOne.
No, I think at 166. You know that LarryOne, as I wrote it in my email.
Right. Okay.
And then so you add 66.
Okay.
LarryOne 66.
Right. So there you go. So that was it. What I'll do at the end of the live stream, I'll put the links for our first team squad members now. There's not going to be no wages though. Maybe £3.50. Add a few zeros onto that. But guys, thank you very much for tuning in. This Friday night on the Easy Talk. It's been a really interesting debate, quite lively as usual. There's going to be a promotional video in regards to the membership scheme coming straight after this one here. But before I end this one, I want to say again, big thank you to each and every one of you. Came, I think it was 160 live viewers. The live chat again, moderated by Monty there, fantastic. And to Larry again, which position did you used to play at football? Striker, Larry.
I used to play striker and also 7 winger.
Okay,
but most,
all right.
Okay. Mostly striker.
All right, okay. And you, Raj, which position?
I'm a dirty defensive midfielder. I just love to get stuck in and do the dirty stuff. Probably because I wasn't very skillful. I wasn't able to be that useful on the ball. And I love getting I love getting stuck in. So yeah.
All right, okay. Well, so
that's it. That's a
wrap. That's a wrap. So guys, stay tuned. Listen out for the promo video in regards to the membership scheme, and I will see you again tomorrow for another segment of live news. And it's been a blast. So from everyone on the panel here and Cannon Fodder TV, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to Cannon Fodder TV so you can be part of the bigger community here on this wonderful platform, Cannon Fodder TV.
Hi, and welcome back to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. Well, this is a special video introducing our new membership scheme. Membership scheme, I hear you say? Yes, YouTube have allowed all content creators to have a membership scheme, and it's open to all our subscribers. Let me just get one thing straight right about now. All the content that you've been seeing for the last 2.5 years will remain to be free. So that's the Voice of Reason, that is the live shows, the broadcasts, the Easy Talks, all those content there is going to remain to be free. Okay, so I've got it off my chest. With the membership scheme, you get certain perks. With those perks, you'll get to see behind the scenes footage that probably nobody's seen before. Maybe, I'm not sure if you want to see. You also get early release of certain videos. And of course, with the player profile videos, where you ask us to do a video on a specific player, we'll give you a shout out, we'll mention you, and that'll be literally earmarked as if it was a present from us to you. With those formats there and the perks, they will come with a small price to be paid for the month. So with the lower level, which is going to be a bronze cannon, you'll get the shout out in the live chats, and also with the chat, if you are a member, it will go right to the top of the page that we must and we will mention you. And you also get like a free emoji and GIF with that as well. With the silver cannon, Again, you'll get all behind the scenes footage, all the bloopers, all the things that we've tried to keep away from you. But yeah, there'll be a small price to be paid for that. That's roughly standing at £4.99. It will vary from country to country. So wherever you're on, there'll be a slight difference in that. And like I said, we're trying to maintain the future of Canon 4 TV across the whole platform. So by all means, you know, we would love you to be a part of the membership scheme there. There are going to be perks, including discounts for all the merchandise currently running on Canon 4 TV. So that is the reason why we're doing the membership scheme. Again, you don't have to join it. All the content I'm going to repeat will remain to be free. But part of the membership scheme, you'll have all those perks there. Again, there's going to be a free Q&A live session with me and maybe my brother every Thursday. You also get early footage of early releases. And of course, you'll get the discount as well as all the bloopers and the behind the scene footage right here on this lovely channel, which is called Canon 4 TV. So we would love you to be part of the membership scheme. Please, the video is up and running now, and it's free to all the subscribers, all the viewers that's ever viewed Canon 4 TV. So for myself, Alex, and of course for my brother and Monty and everyone from Canon 4 TV, welcome, please, to the membership scheme on Canon 4 TV.